Your air fryer basket has baked on grease right now. Brown, sticky, webbed into the mesh like it was welded there. You've scrubbed at it. The grease didn't come off. It moved. And somewhere in that effort, you probably took a little of the coating with it. The frustrating part isn't that the basket is ruined. It's that you were doing the exact thing that makes it harder to fix. The Japanese kitchen answer to this isn't a stronger spray or a harsher chemical. It's one cheap powder you almost certainly already have in a cabinet somewhere. And by the end of this, you'll be able to wipe baked-on grease off that basket without hard scrubbing, without fumes, without anything you'd worry about near food. Here's the principle behind it, and it's worth planting right at the start. In a lot of Japanese homes, the goal with a household object isn't to replace it when it gets hard to deal with. It's to understand what it actually needs and give it that. The basket isn't failing you. You just haven't had the right tool yet. So let's talk about what's actually going on in that mesh. Because once you understand it, the method makes obvious sense. Baked-on grease isn't the same as fresh grease. When fat hits high heat repeatedly, it cooks onto the surface and hardens. It changes. You can't just dissolve it with dish soap the way you'd cut through a greasy pan after dinner. The molecular structure has shifted, and soap isn't alkaline enough to do much with it. That's why scrubbing moves it around instead of lifting it. You're applying force to something that hasn't been chemically loosened yet. Force without chemistry just damages the surface underneath. Baking soda is a mild alkali, a base. And when an alkali meets hardened fat, something called saponification begins to happen. The fat starts to break down, partly converting into something softer and water-soluble. It's the same basic reaction that turns fat into soap. The grease doesn't need to be scrubbed off because it's been changed into something that wipes away. Heat and time both speed this up. That's the whole logic. You're dissolving the bond, not muscling past it. Now the method. This is what you came for, and it's simpler than it sounds. Step 1. Let the basket cool completely before you touch it. Tip out any loose crumbs. Starting on a hot basket just burns your hands and doesn't help the chemistry at all. Step 2. Make a paste. Baking soda with just enough water stirred in to make it spreadable. You're aiming for something like a thick frosting consistency, not a runny slurry. Coat the greasy mesh and get into the corners where buildup collects. This is where most people underapply. The paste needs to be sitting on the grease, not just nearby. Step 3, wait. For a light layer of grease, 20 to 30 minutes is enough. For baked-on buildup, the stuff that's been cooking on for months, leave it longer. Overnight if you can. This is where people get impatient and undo the whole thing by scrubbing too early. The paste is doing the work right now. Your only job is to leave it alone. Step 4, and this is the move that handles heavy grease. Add gentle heat. Sit the basket in a basin or a plugged sink filled with hot water and stir in a few spoons of baking soda. Let it soak for 15 to 20 minutes. The warmth and the alkali work together. The heat opens the grease up. The baking soda breaks it down. After this soak, grease that felt permanent will feel like it's barely holding on. Step 5, wipe or brush. With a soft cloth or a natural fiber tawashi brush, which is what you'll find in a traditional Japanese kitchen for exactly this purpose. The softened grease lifts. You're not scrubbing. You're clearing away what the paste already loosened. If you feel yourself pressing hard, the grease needs more time, not more force. Go back to step 3. Step 6, rinse thoroughly and dry everything fully before the next use. Not just to shake over the sink, actually dry it. Residue left on metal parts, especially around the edges of the basket, can cause rust or leave a film that burns off unpleasantly the next time you cook. One more thing before we move on. This same paste and soak method works on a greasy BBQ grill grate, a range hood filter caked with cooking residue, a sticky oven rack. The grease is the same problem in all those places. The solution is the same. Now, after the practical part, is when the Japanese angle becomes more than a technique. It becomes a way of thinking. In many Japanese homes, the cleaning cabinet isn't a row of specialist sprays, one per problem. It's a few cheap, low-toxicity staples, juuso, which is baking soda, kuin-san, citric acid, and a natural fiber tawashi brush. One gentle powder stands in for a shelf of bottles. That's not an accident. It's the Mottainai instinct applied to cleaning. Mottainai is a word for the quiet reluctance to waste what's still useful. to reach for something stronger or more complicated than you actually need. Applied here, the basket was never broken. The grease was just waiting for the right chemistry. One powder, almost no cost, no fumes, and the thing lasts longer because you never scrape the coating off trying to fix it. The economics of this are straightforward. Baking soda is about as cheap as a kitchen staple gets, and it's doing the job of a specialist degreaser spray, a foaming oven cleaner, and whatever else is on that aisle. You're not buying a solution for every surface. You're using one thing that works across all of them. Before you go, a few honest cautions, because the method only works well if you follow them. Always use the paste with a soft brush or cloth on a non-stick basket. Never apply dry baking soda directly and scrub with it. Dry, it acts as a mild abrasive and will wear the coating. Steel wool is out entirely. It scratches immediately and permanently. If your basket has a specific manufacturer's care guidance, check it. Some coatings have limitations worth knowing. Only the removable basket and tray go in water. Do not submerge the electrical unit or the heating element under any circumstances. If you're thinking about adding vinegar to boost the reaction, don't. At least not in a closed container or combined directly with baking soda. An acid and a base together just cancel each other out, fizz, and give you nothing useful. For grease, the alkali working alone is the right tool. Keep them separate. And the Honest Edge case, very old, carbonized black buildup. The kind that's been cooking on for a year or more and has turned almost glassy. May not come completely clear in one round. That's not the method failing. That's the method being gentle by design. A second application, given enough time, will usually finish what the first one started. Gentle and patient beats, harsh and fast for a surface you want to keep using? If this gave you a way back into a basket you were ready to throw out, subscribe, because next week it's the Japanese habit that keeps